Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another wonderful and exciting and incredible, and I'm missing my button episode of Tunesday, the day we build music from scratch. Today, today is a request Tunesday. We are doing a calm Pokemon style chiptune as requested by the Fonz. I'm excited about this style too because, well, when it's a request day, there's no pressure on me in terms of coming up with what it is. I mean, I guess there's a different sort of pressure because now I have to do the style that was recommended. But weirdly, I don't find when it's a style that I feel like I know I can do it well. I don't feel like there's like any pressure. And I feel like, a calm Pokemon style. I actually listen to, calm Pokemon chiptune style. When I think of that, I'm thinking something from like the early Game Boy games, right? Like Pokemon Red, Yellow, or what were the other ones that came out later? The sequels, the immediate sequels, I forget. But either way, that red and yellow, blue and yellow is enough inspiration already to start going that route in terms of what a calm Pokemon style thing is. We're not going to do any of the action battle music. I'm thinking like, some of those towns, Silver and Gold. That's it, Silver and Gold. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Oh, those were good too. Those had some good music as well. But yeah, so I guess in a way the inspiration for this, when I think calm Pokemon style chiptune, I think of just like one of the town musics, right? Because those were always so chill. And because you'd be, bobbing around the town like, oh, what's going on over here? So it's got to be like a chill, calm. There's no during those moments. So we're going to just pretend we're like writing, we're writing a Game Boy style track for like Pokemon Purple. And the town is Trillion. I don't know. Whatever. That's I guess the inspiration for today. So let's get right in. There's a couple avenues we could go. The first thing is the default, which I know will sound good, and so I'm gonna just bring in one just so we have it. And that's my coin-op ones. These are like my go-to like Pulse Wave NES Pulse. Now I know this is Game Boy, which is a little different than NES Pulse. That's why I've also got. I have a Game Boy pack. What's it called though? I thought it would be Game Boy. Damn it. Okay, hang on. We're gonna have to dig through. It's one of these other packs. There's something Game Boy related. I just gotta find it. I thought it'd be in the G's. I guess coin-op isn't around NES, so hang on. Let's scan this real quick. What could it be called? I could have sworn I had a Game Boy pack. I know I made a Tunesday using like almost all Game Boy sounds. Ah, here it is. It's sorted to the top for some reason. BPB. Game Boy. We got Game Boy drums. Hang on, let me turn this down. Those are a little bit loud. Now, a lot of these I don't know that I'm going to use. I might use some of these for like the percussion, right? I mean, when we're talking chill Pokemon Town, there isn't really much percussion. A lot of those, they were sort of just the melody and maybe a little. Maybe like this, like that's the snare. And that's just used to sort of help keep the beat throughout or something. I actually kind of like that idea of just using that as a snare. I'm going to do this real quick. Dragging an empty drum rack. I think that could work. Just bringing in a few of these. I know they might have ones for snares. Yeah, they do. These are going to be too aggressive. Yeah, no. I mean, I get it, but not what we want. But yeah, so we got these as well. Which I could assign to, like, if you go in here and you get an instrument rack. Or I think I just drag in an empty one, yeah. Go back to the sample. So like put that one in there. And I feel like a lot of these, like, here's how we're going to get started on this. Is because I was listening to a bunch of old Pokemon stuff because like I know the songs, but like there's a difference between knowing the songs and like critically analyzing it and sort of being like, okay, this is how it is built and how it is made, and you sort of break it down by its components, and a lot of which is, we always remember the really beautiful melody over the top, but there's so much extra action going on in the low end and the bass, especially when there's no percussion in the song. The bass is doing so much legwork. So I might actually start by, the bass is almost like creating the accompaniment or like the chord progression, because we can't have chords playing, full ass chords, because if we do, that's going to be too much sound for like your little Game Boy speaker. So they would get around that by having like I say, the bass sort of play the chords, and they would do that by doing like an arpeggio or like there's literally a name for this bass, and I should know better since I went to school. That's why I know that there's a name for this bass, but it's like the one that goes like a. You know what I mean? That exact thing. There's literally a name for that, and I cannot remember what it's called. It's killing me, actually. My music teachers would be really mad at me, but there's a name for it, and it's not important. But it's that, right? You've heard that a million times, and that's basically just creating the chord accompaniment. Because all I'm doing is playing C, G, and E, which in that instance would be a C major. So you sort of hear this, but you hear it a little better because you're hearing it. It's not so chunky and blocky. Because Game Boy is not supposed to be chunky, blocky, because it was all coming out of one tiny little speaker in the device. And also, if the chords were too intense, then too, you'd like shake your hand in your device. So they had to just come up with different ways of doing it. It's sort of like you're composing with the limitations sort of situation. I mean, all early video game composers were, which allowed them to get creative and create some crazy, crazy stuff. Is this, hang on, can I put a tuning? Because I don't even know. This was just a pulse. I put it on. When I put it on an empty instrument rack, it puts the root note on a C. Is this actually a C? I'll be honest, I have no idea. I don't got perfect pitch. And the tuner doesn't work. Okay, wait, hang on. There we go, it is a C. That's good to know. Perfectly tuned as well, then. Yeah. Oh, what? You can't see that. My head's blocking. Let me go down to here. I was doing big cam because I feel like I should always start on big cam. But you know what? Once we go into production mode, there's nothing to see here. There's nothing going on here. We want to see that beautiful C coming through. So now we know this is tuned to C. That's great. That means I can just leave it on my instrument rack, and we could write something on this for the bass. Like, I could do... Or, hang on. I do want to try to keep around the middle C, because... and if this was a bass, that's fine. We would just want to do this, though. Where is it? Probably would want to do this if we're going to keep this as the bass. And the reason being is that the further away we get from middle C, it's just bending our original sample, which is just a simple pulse wave, but it's still not a raw, real generated pulse wave. So it'll sound a little off the further we get away, which I'm not a stickler for. I don't care that much. But if we can make it already be in the register that we need, then why not? What's going on, Grim? Welcome back. So here, I'm going to do this real quick. Just for writing purposes, this actually helps. I'm going to bring in an empty piano. How are you doing? I'm doing very good. How are you doing today? I'm stoked for this Tunesday today. Oh, wait, I didn't... Oh, shit. Hang on a minute. I didn't update my title. Whoops. Hang on a minute. I bet Fonz was confused as fuck. Or didn't even notice either, maybe. Hang on a minute. I knew... You know what? In the back of my head, I felt like I was forgetting something. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter what my go live notification is. Not good today. Money problems. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that, Grim. I hope They're not, I don't know. I was going to say permanent money problems, but money problems are like always permanent, right? Isn't that? Oh, God, that just makes me more depressed. I'm sorry. I'm not helping. I'm trying and failing. Kind of, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. I will try to make this Tunesday extra cheery and happy to help. I don't know why I'm playing in A minor. Stop it. Okay. The reason why I'm on piano now, right? We're doing chiptune, I thought, is let's come up with like, I guess it could be no more than 4, no less than 2 chord progression right here. Actually, if I'm going to do this, let's do this so you can actually see a little better, right? This is the reason to go bigger cam. See that keyboard a little bit better. All right. So I don't know what key this should be in, but I don't have my pedal. That's okay. We don't need a pedal. It doesn't need to get super jazzy. Like this is gonna be, it has to be major because that makes it like a happy, calm town. No. I mean, there's just 1 4 1 5. Not anything revolutionary, but also nothing that we couldn't do. Hang on, wait. We're getting close to something. Like I said, too, this is, we're going to have to come up with this. I'm coming up with it on piano just to get the chords out there, but then we're going to have to come up with creative ways of highlighting these chords. So it's going to have to be like something on the bass doing like basically what I was saying. Maybe that's what I should do. Hang on. This might be it. Okay, that's the goal. I think we got our progression. It's very simple, very basic, but that's totally cool because that's exactly what we kind of need. It's just if we're playing this, it's B major. It's B to F sharp major, but in which inversion is this? This would be first, second, and third inversion with the C in the low voice. And then E major. And then we go back to the F sharp again, but this one we play in normal first inversion. And then we go repeat. Oops, so it goes so the bass goes. And now we need to translate that into no chords, no piano, just a bass doing that. And then I guess the lead melody, which will tiptoe around whatever note might be missing out of the bass in that. Well, no, because the bass might be moving quick. I don't know. We're going to see. I don't know how this is going to go. Just like you, we're going to figure it all out together. I don't even know how fast we're going to go. I haven't even thought about that. But we're going to jump back over to this. And now I don't need to follow this. Well, we'll figure this out. I was going to say I don't need to be super strict. Oh, snap.
Look at me. I'm Slamhaus. I'm a man about town. I got appointments to make. Have your people talk to my people. I have some videotapes to return. Gonna diversify my bonds.
Yeah. I don't need to explain myself. Hef did it for me. Thank you, Hef, for the 15 months. Wow, really early today. Welcome, Bacon. That's why we're early. Hef, see? Look at that. Hef answered before Bacon even asked. You're on top of it. But welcome to Tunesday. Yes, we are early today. I got some stuffs I got to do today, and I couldn't wait until when I normally start. So, which means I am on even more of a deadline today, in terms of getting this done. But technically, I've got 4 hours to get this done, and we're doing like a chill Pokemon style chiptune. I can do that in 4 hours. I can guarantee I could do that in 4 hours because it's just going to be coming up. I got to come up with an A part and a B part, using a few voices, but in a complicated way that it sounds full, and then. But because it's few voices, it's going to be less like digging through and trying to find samples that I don't even know and experimenting. It's going to be just like, well, we need our bass, we need our melody, we need our one percussion, and that's all we got room for on our little track. But then we just need A and B part, get it nice and looping. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, let's see. Hang on. We're going to start super simple, like I said. This type of bass, I cannot remember what it's called again. Let me try one more thing too with this. What if we use another pulse? This one. Let's start with this. That sounds like Mario. Well, Mario's still Nintendo, so it's close enough, right? And so, here, let's just do this to get the chord progression that I wanted first. Now I'm starting to think this should go back to, hang on, the other pulse. It's getting too high. Getting too high, man. Hang on. I'm just tracking this out to get the chord progression in here. And get it looping, and then we're going to start like trying to make it a little bit better, more interesting. And I might also experiment too with, this is still the first, like, actually I should label it better. This is the Game Boy Pulse thing, right? Oop, Gabe Boy. And I'm just going to call this one just regular pulse because it's just my normal regular pulse. Let's turn my regular pulse down to, oh, it already is. Anywho, loop this. So this is our chord progression. You can actually start to hear the chords a little bit now, all just highlighted by the bass. So whether or not we go with this exact sound, I still don't know. That's why I want to experiment with this. Let's make this its own track and call it the bass. A lot of times, NES would do like a triangle wave as the bass, but I don't know that that's going to sound right. This is not what I thought it was. I thought this was the pulse. It's just the piano. Now we go back to Mozart days. But I think we can diverge from this a little bit by adding variation. We don't have to stick so strictly to this ba da da da. This ba da da da. Okay, I can't even select them all. Fine, screw you, game. Game, music. I don't know why I said game. Where is the pulse wave? Did I save it over with my piano? I'm so confused because I was like 99% sure I added it. Unless I didn't, and I'm just that crazy. A- Asicon, what's going on? Dave Rogers Jr. Whoops, sorry. Should have turned that one down. Also, bring it down. Now, wait, hang on. Why? The sustain has to be. This is just a volume knob? Oh no, it's because the decay was all the way down too. Okay, never mind. Because yes, I want it to be more like this. I think I'm gonna go with this over the Game Boy Pulse. I mean, it was either this or this. Actually, what are they? No, together is gonna be too much sound. 'Cause this is the other option, right? No, that's too much. We can't do that sort of shit. What if? No, that would just be changing everything completely. Unless we change everything completely for everybody. Maybe make the second and fourth chord minor. I'm trying to think of how to make it a little bit more interesting, but I don't know that I want to do minor here. I think I kind of like the idea of keeping these all major, and we save a minor change for like a B section, you know. So like if we're chilling on this for a little bit, you know. Here, let me do the most simple explanation of this as fast as possible. Let's do two of that, and I'm gonna copy and paste it. And let's see, we're in B minor, so it's like, what's the? Oh, we're on the wrong. Or no, we're not. Oh, I can't. Oh, if I slide the notes together, they die out together. You hear that? I have to very clearly separate them. I could try to make it more interesting that way too. Hang on a minute. Because this could be a lot more interesting. No, that's too much movement. Something else to remember, this is just the bass, right? Or this will be the bass. I don't know if it's going to be right here or if it sounds better down here. Can't decide yet. No, 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 hang on. I'm doing too much movement too quickly. No. The thing that makes it good is the consistency between these three notes. This bum, bum, bum. So, like, the first note can change. Dun. Keep it for right now. I forgot what I was saying before. I was B. So this would be the minor. Let's delete this, copy this one. C sharp minor. That's where I want to go. That would be the logical way to go. Wait, hang on, wait. This is actually really hard to play the piano because I have to get a full lift between every single note. That's why I'm playing it so staccato-y. Otherwise, the notes, like, well, as F put it, slide together, die together. I mean, is that too? It's a great progression if I were to do that. Is that too? I don't know. Intense. Well, we'll see. It depends, I guess, on how we use it all. Let's see. So then I need E flat, B flat, and G. I think it's amazing. All right. It's your kind of like a determined vibe. Okay. Okay. I do think helping going into the two major chords at the end helps it feel more because I'm stupid, but like victorious, like not so like these ones feel so like all hope is lost. Oh no. But we will rise up. You know what I mean? Like the last two chords really swing that mood around. You get a sense of determination. Is this an Undertake tune? I mean, it could be, honestly, at this rate. This is a Swiss utility knife song. Bust it out whenever you need it, in any occasion. Okay, so that would be like the B part then, right? So A part is this. And this is all still, hang on, this was the piano, right? I mean, how well does that flows kind of nicely. I'm trying to think if there's a way to make it flow. It works for now. We'll leave it as is. I'm also gonna do this actually, just for the sake of labeling. Now we can, because they're very, very similar. It honestly, it's hard to even differentiate as it's playing through that it did change because it's so similar to the other one. But that's okay because we will make it come through in the other parts. Something else I want to do really quickly. I think we don't need this one anymore. It's confirmed we're not using this one. So let's get rid of that. I want to go here on the drum rack. Let's turn it down too. Whatever ends up being the percussion for this, I don't want there to be a lot. Not at all. There's what's funny is this style, this like chill Pokemon style chiptune song. I technically have done it, though I guess maybe not Pokemon style because it's certainly not like Game Boy Pokemon style because there's a lot of NES Pulse voices and thick chunky chords. But I've made a song like almost 4 or 5 years ago that I've played a few times that I feel like would fit this almost perfectly. And all I did in that one for percussion was just a kick and a snare, nothing else. And I felt like it was the perfect amount of percussion. And so for something like this, it might honestly be this is the only percussion. And I might even come up with a different rhythm because this is obviously just playing, right? Okay. We're going to call this one the melody for a few obvious reasons. Now, here's something else, too. If we go over here to the pulse, this is the pulse that we have, the pulse width. We can change this. I mean, that sounds bassier. That's more of a bass. I think, yeah. I think it's a decided. That's our bass. That sounds super bassy to me. Which is perfect because then we just put our melody to a different pulse width, and that's how you sort of create the different voices then. Now, in general, everybody's super quiet, so let's turn everybody up. I've been so worried about everybody being too quiet, but now I think I'm too loud in my talking. So let's turn it up so we can rock this a bit more. A bit better. Hang on, I'm gonna save this B part. It needs to go for longer before it changes. I mean, I still don't know when this melody's gonna come in, but I need more time to prepare my melody. Oh yeah, hang on. Let me go actually to this. This one, we're going to put the sustain all the way up again. I didn't change the right one, did I? Nope, I did not. No siree, babaroo. Put that down. There we go. I think it's going to be easier if I just start tracking it out rather than trying to play it out. Let me try real quick. Turn it down a pinch more. That's that's why it sounds a little lower. 44 minutes late to the Tunesday. Last week turned out great. Hey, thank you very much. You're 44 minutes late to the Tunesday, perhaps, but you're still early in general because I'm so early. Can I try a different pulse? Better. Let's go not infinite sustain, but a lot longer decay. This one was what, 1.45? Yeah. So like 2 seconds longer. Now, here's where I actually want to do this. Can I, how clean does this look? So what I'm doing is I'm selecting both of these MIDI clips and looking at them at the same time. But I actually only want to change and affect the melody. But it really helps to have them both out because this is sort of the difficult thing. This is where the challenge comes in into writing this style of Pokemon music, right? Or chiptune music or Game Boy music or whatever music. I'm specifically saying Pokemon because Pokemon did this constantly. on their Game Boy games where it's sort of just like really complicated counterpoint. Since there's not a lot of other percussion and there's not chords, you have to there are chords, it's just the voices individually playing their notes. You have to make sure their voices are forming pleasing chords in a way. So what I mean by that is, okay, so B comes in right here. This one sounds nice, and the reason it sounds nice is because as this B is playing, the bass plays a D sharp and an F sharp. So it's literally just highlighting a B major chord right there. So this is why the first note sounds totally fine as a B. But this one sounds a little bit off, right? Why does this one sound off? So I'm trying to look at it, or at least feels off to me. We have an E. I think it's this note. So we've got an E. Wait, why do I do this? Oh, I see. Never mind. So we have a D sharp. We're still highlighting the B major chord, but I'm going to. Why is this a B flat? I'm confusing myself. But let's go with this. I like this because then this works. It's a third, D sharp to F sharp. I kind of want to do that. Does this work? Yeah, F sharp, or wait, no, it doesn't. Now, I don't actually have to get, because guaranteed Pokemon composers didn't get this anal. Basically, there are like ancient, they're not really ancient, I guess. I don't know how old something has to be qualified as ancient, but very, very old rules of counterpoint created in the 1600s or whatever. And those rules are very strict. But as people kept writing, I think they set the rules so strict, and then they wrote everything that followed the rules, and then there wasn't really anything else new to write that still followed every rule, so people started bending all the counterpoint rules. And so this was certainly a rule that would be one that they wouldn't want, because this is an F sharp to a G sharp, so it's a major second. That's definitely not... That's not a valid chord, right? I argue they're far enough apart in voicing that it doesn't matter. Not to mention, they're also not on a downbeat. They're like a passing note, you know? Right there. It's on the up. So I think a lot of other composers think that same way too, is when it's not on the downbeat, it's not that important. Whether or not we stick with this, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily, it's not that important to me. I could even do this. Hang on, wait. Though I don't know if I'd want to go here then. But I need to come up with a pleasing melody first before, I don't know, the rules are the most important thing. So that's why if the melody sounds better than the rules, then screw it. Could I do this? And these are the same note. Which you can do, an octave. So I guess that one's fine. I don't know that I like this yet. Hang on. I need to do this. I need to just listen for a little bit. What am I hearing this coming in? Maybe not that long, actually. Wait, what do we go to here then? Bum, 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 bum. Oh yeah, to F sharp. Wait, hang on.
You's a hoe.
I'm Jed. Welcome. Thanks for the follow. How you doing? I just followed you, by the way. I saw that. Thank you. I'm liking how this sounds right now so far. See, when I try too hard to just write the melody focused around like counterpoint rules, screw all that shit. Just sounds way better. Good, thanks for asking. I'm about to release a song this month. Oh, nice. What song is about one of the happenings that could happen in a long-distance couple relationship? I've been in one super serious long-distance relationship that eventually did culminate to moving in together, but didn't go any further than that. But yeah, I could probably relate. I mean, you can feel free to drop the link if you want. I'm not gonna do any like live review on here, but I will totally check it out later. And of course, anyone watching right now wants to take a gander, leave a comment, or chime in on your take, go for it. Should these be held out longer, maybe? Boom, bonum. Bum, 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 bum. These ones sound a little crunchy. I'm a singer, music producer, and songwriter, by the way. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. You do any live streams of your stuff? That's what I recommend. Anytime I meet, especially on Twitch, anytime I meet other producers on Twitch, I'm always like, you live stream your music production on Twitch? Because I recommend it. Strongly recommend it. I've been doing it for years, and my God, it just outside of the fact of like how much I've learned about how to use Ableton from viewers. Outside of like looking at different creative ways of writing that I normally wouldn't, y'all help me get out of ruts. Certainly, I wouldn't have come up with writing a calm, chill Pokemon style song today if it were not for the Fonz's request. So, not now, not anymore. I just do TikTok nowadays. So I don't do any TikTok, but I've had a decent number of other music producers tell me I need to get on TikTok now. Do you feel the same way? Do you see some like insane growth, insane results on TikTok? Is it real? Like, I know you could look at the number and it's like 6.9 million, but like, does it actually translate to Spotify plays or YouTube follows or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, if it's all localized to TikTok, I don't care that much. I don't want to be a TikTok celebrity. So, like, if it's real and, like, people come out and, like, doing it gets you growth in other platforms, yes, it is. Okay. Is it, like, a lot? Because, like I say, other producers telling me, they're like, yeah, you're dropping the ball if you're not doing TikTok. I just don't. I hate TikTok so much. I don't want to do it. So, I'm trying to find out if I just got to bite the bullet and just freaking do it. God knows I don't post anything to, like, my Instagram or anything. So, like, I could just take my stream content and turn it into TikTok content. I'm already making the content here. It's just that's much extra. I don't know. It's all that extra work. Still on the fence about it. When you're starting out in TikTok, your views and your vids just really small. Okay. I mean, I would assume I wouldn't just like post once and then it blows up. I know that some people get into streaming in that regard. They're like, oh, it's so easy to stream. I just play a video game. I'm just going to click go live and I'll have 1,000 people in my room in no time. And it's like, people get humbled real quick on Twitch, I think. Good strategy to grow your fan base on TikTok, yeah. That's why I got to figure out if it'd be worth it. And there's got to be, well, I could certainly find someone on Fiverr or something. I don't do TikTok either, or TikTok either. That's the time you grow your own views on TikTok. But I feel like I say, I don't have the time and patience to like edit my videos, to make them into TikToks and to like play that social media game, because like you're saying, you gotta have that strategy. You gotta post at the right time and use the right hashtags. Are the kids still calling them hashtags? No. But you gotta like it's like you say, it's a strategy. It's a game, and you gotta play it. And like I don't got the time to learn that. I don't want to do all that. So that's why like I need to like hire someone that knows that and like can play that game and be like, here, make a TikTok for me and grow it. You run it. I don't wanna. That's what I need to do. I know Twitch streamers that have done that for YouTube channels, right? They and the way they do it too is they'll like find an editor and they'll be like, here, we'll just do basically your pay is you get a 50-50 split on the whole YouTube channel. Like I'm providing you the content by just giving you my streams. You edit them however you want, design the YouTube channel however you want, market however you want, use your strategy. You just get half of all the revenue that shows up on there, and that's interesting way to I don't know, like motivate someone. Like if you really grow a channel big, that could be some money if you know what you're doing. But I feel like that only works for like, because that streamer was like decently big. Like they get like 1,000, 1,500 people watching them. So like their name is going to automatically attract attention on a YouTube edit, right? Because people are probably already searching their name on YouTube and finding fan YouTube accounts or fan edits and stuff like that. So it's sort of like the growth is already going to be there for that person. I can't offer such an appealing thing to someone. Oh, hey, how would you like half of nothing? you know? So I would have to hit a level where someone could like, if I could like guarantee that making a TikTok will create a profit, and then I would be like, hey, half of the TikTok, you edit it however you want, do whatever you want with the TikTok. You keep half of any money that's earned from TikTok or whatever like that, right? You can live stream on TikTok though, true, but I don't think I want to do that. I mean, if I was gonna move my live stream anywhere, I'd probably move to like YouTube or something like that. I don't know that I'm gonna. I realize I could live stream on TikTok, but here's the thing. TikTok is primarily done on your phone, right? You primarily enjoy your TikToks on your phone, right? Phones have shitty, garbage, butthole speakers on them, okay? And I don't really want to like try to do these complicated music production streams to people with garbage, butthole speakers on their phone watching in bed. Bro, either like get to your computer and put on some headphones or something, but I don't, that's why I feel like it's better for YouTube or a Twitch. That way, if you still want to watch that shit on your phone, there's a Twitch app, there's a YouTube app. You can still watch this on your phone and through your butt speaker. But if you want your quality audio, you can go to your computer, and it's more convenient than watching TikTok live or something. I know you could probably watch TikTok live from a computer as well, but it's not optimized in that way, I'm going to hijack Slam streams for profit. Change the thumbnail with a celebrity face and edit them into 10-minute chunks to get a lot of videos. So I was genuinely thinking about trying that on a couple of my videos, is making these like goofy, memey thumbnails of me like the 3/4 of the thumbnail would be a close-up of my face, and like I'd be doing a shocked thing, and I'd be like, oh my God, I composed a song all in one session or something like that, and just trying to make like the most clickbait ass looking video for like a Tunesday or two, and just see if like, boom, that one just skyrockets. And it's like, okay, I've learned this stupid game that we were playing. I thought it wouldn't be worth the effort, so I didn't do it. I missed Bacon's message. Hang on a second. So I'm selling all my music gear because I never use it, and I feel I am better at composing rather than live recording music. Interesting. I mean, yeah, depending on what gear you have, I could see that. Honestly, I've got music gear in my closet that I should sell. I'm right up there. I'm looking at it. And a lot of it, too, is actually different. They're like old guitar pedals that I would use, and I used to use them all the time when I played live shows. I don't really play live shows anymore. And honestly, I have a multi-effects pedal that can do a lot of the things those pedals can do. So if I were to even do a live show, probably just bring this one and not those others. So I've been thinking about selling a couple music gear things as well. But then at the same time, I think like, oh, they don't even sell these models anymore of these guitar pedals. They all have the newer version. Like these are, I guarantee in 20 years, people are gonna be like, no, the old original models are the vintage. That's how you can only get the pure sound from those guitar pedals. The new ones they're all built off different circuit boards, so they sound totally different or whatever. And I could sell my pedals as vintage, So maybe I save them. We'll see. As long as your music gear keeps working, it will always grow in value, I feel like. Because someone at some point will think it's vintage and worth it. Even if it's like well, maybe not everything. Because some things are just so stupid and impractical that they just get phased out by better technology. It's not something like an analog synth where, oh, you can't replicate that pure analog sound. It's just like, no, we figured out better ways of doing this shit. Hopefully, it was like 700 back in my pocket. Then I'm gonna buy a Kai mini MIDI keyboard thing for $99 and call it a day. I think I know exactly which one you're talking about, and it's the version of this. Let me make my camera a little bit bigger. It's the version of this, but with the keyboard on it. I have the non-keyboard version. Here's the little red Akai thing with the pad, but yours would have the little keyboard on the bottom probably. I think that's the one you're talking about. Yep. I've got the non-keyboard version. This one was the $60 version. This thing is super fun. It's just a simple tap pad, right? But it's so tiny and so light and so simple. And I don't know, Ableton is, I mean, it's called Ableton Live for a reason. It works really well for like live stuff. And so it works really well with that thing. Use it for drums. I don't do it for like Tunesday drums. I honestly, I was using it to just mess around on my laptop. I would sit, because I always make music like here at my desk, right? This is my studio or whatever. But sometimes I have a laptop like over where I want to sit on my couch or something like that, and I have Ableton on there, and I was never using it because I didn't have anything to play with it, and so I got just that tiny little thing to like tap out stuff, and was like, what if I tried to do a live show or something with Ableton? How would I do it using just something simple like this? And it's fun. So then I try it with drums a little bit, but I guess I don't use it a lot or ever when I'm just sitting at the studio here because I've got all this other gear that's way better. It's just perfect for like mobile and on the go. It's so tiny and so versatile. So the one with the keyboard thing, honestly, I almost kind of wish I got that one too, because that would be perfect. Because that's the only thing now with this. I'm like, this is fantastic for tapping around, but I do kind of wish I had the keyboard still sometimes. What keyboard are you using? I use a Casio Privia, something. What is it? Casio Privia PX130. This is actually a piano. It's an 88 key weighted key piano that is, I think it was marketed to be for schools, actually. And the reason I think that, I have no actual proof of that, but here's my theory for two reasons. Number one, the built-in sounds on this sort of suck ass. No one would ever buy this. I'd never recommend buying this to run the direct audio that it creates out. The piano one sounds okay. All the rest of the built-in sounds, they're not very good. The reason this is nice is because I can just connect it in through MIDI, and then my computer picks the samples, and I don't use any of these built-in ones. The other thing, too, is it has actually 2 headphone jacks on the side. That's what makes me think it was like marketed as like a teacher piano, sort of. Because a teacher doesn't need a lot of good sounds. You need one good piano sound. And then it's got 2 headphone jacks. So a school could buy, like a music school could buy like 30 of these, put them in a classroom. All the kids could practice with their headphones on. And when the teacher walks around, he or she just wears headphones and plugs it into the kid's piano and goes, play your homework assignment, and then walks to the next one. I was literally in a keyboard harmony class, and they did that. Except instead of that, they had old pianos where you had to take your headphones off and then you play it so everyone can hear how shit you sound. Or good you sound. How do you connect it to MIDI? So this keyboard just has a straight USB out. So it's like the same sort of thing as this. It's this sort of input for like this Akai thing. And so it would be the same. I guarantee your Akai, your $99 one, will have this exact same thing. It's just the typical USB port, and you plug it in and gone are the days of needing like an interface for reading MIDI, because you used to have to do that, right? What is MIDI out in XLR for, right? So you see like in old interfaces, right? And you'd see MIDI, like old MIDI cables, right? Is that what you're asking? Like, what if everything's USB? Why do those MIDI cables exist? The reason, honestly, is just more for the same reason that your video game console might be backwards compatible. It's because people still like to play old 80s synth, and MIDI cables used to be a requirement. I mean, there was no USB cable in the 80s, right? If you said that to someone, they'd be like, what the hell's that? USB? So they used MIDI cables, and that's why they had interfaces that they had to plug their MIDI cables in, and the interface would read the MIDI and translate it into the computer and everything like that. Now, computers just do that all automatically. So So any new device you have will never have a MIDI out. If you buy a new piano and it has a MIDI out, what the fuck are they doing? I genuinely have no idea what anyone would be doing building any modern equipment with MIDI outs. It's all something USB or lightning adapter or USB-C or something like that. The only reason an interface might still have MIDI on it is so that way it's still compatible with an old 80s synth or something. You know, you want to still use your old vintage 1980s, whatever. Cool, you can. You just got to buy the interface that can also take a MIDI input. So it's more about just like making it compatible with dated equipment. That's why you would want to get something that could take a MIDI in or something. The Novation came with USB out and MIDI out. Really? So like that's a new one? Okay. Which I thought was weird. I mean, that's the thing. Maybe there is other practical uses for MIDI still nowadays. Because MIDI is more than just notes. For instance, what you could maybe do with that Novation MIDI out is, what if you run the USB to your computer and you run a MIDI out to a controller that's controlling lights, right? Because I think you can sync lights to MIDI. And so you could have your audio sort of like control your audio, whatever, could also control your lighting in a way. So I guess there's like that sort of practical purposes. I would just think there's probably better ways of doing it nowadays, but I don't know. It could be the same like an elitist things. Like people just consider MIDI is like the best way to do it, and so they're gonna just do it forever that way. It's the reason that faxing still exists. Is the same reason MIDI still exists, I guess. Is Ableton free? Ableton is not free. There's like a trial version that's not free. The trial version isn't. It's cheap. It's like $80 or something, but no, unfortunately, Ableton is not free. After I get the Akai thing, I would need something to hook it into. That's true. Yes, you would need some DAW, some software to work with. What note are they playing at the same time there? That works. Any experience with something other than Ableton? I'm guessing that whole quantize thing is invaluable. It's very useful. I don't have a solution for like a free DAW or even like a more affordable DAW than Ableton. Honestly, I would say that like the best bang for your buck is still the Ableton intro version. You are limited to a few tracks and fewer sounds, but you can bring in, there's a lot of great free plugins. Like for instance, in here, my whole plugin library, a lot of these were free. Or I got like some huge deal, like a tremendous amount of these Isotope ones. I have like 8 of them, and I think I got all 8 for like $50-$60 or something during like a Black Friday sale. But otherwise, the ones I use like constantly, Vital, Helm, Synth One, these are all free VSTs. And these are the sort of things that all you would sort of, I mean, you could probably run a VST not in a DAW. How you do that, I don't know. There's got to be a way, I'm sure. So you could Google that, like just find these sort of plugins. Like if you're just looking to well, I don't know. Because then if you just run the synth as a VST, you can make it, but you can't record anything. So if you're actually looking to record something, then yeah, you will need a DAW. My OG DAW was Music Maker software. Oh my God, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that name in a long time. But otherwise, like other than Ableton, I had experience with Logic Pro. But if you do Logic Pro, that's Mac only. Not to mention it's super expensive software, so don't want to do that. I had what was that one called? can't even think of what they're called now. Boy, my brain don't work so good no more. And they still put out new versions. I'd believe that. I mean, there's like a common one that I used to use FL Studio back when it was called Fruity Loops. It's okay. I wouldn't really recommend it. I know that might be a controversial statement depending on who's listening, because there's some folks here that love FL more than anything. But it's okay. You trash in FL, right? Yeah, there's some people that would hate. They'd hate on me hard. I feel like I'm not trashing FL. It's just like I don't think there's anything that FL can do that everybody else can't. But then you bring up what can Ableton do that other people can't, and I don't know that I have an answer for that. I don't know. Isn't it free? I don't know, actually. That could be why it's popular. If it's free, I think there might be a free version. I don't think the full-ass version of FL is free. Because that's why it's not called Fruity Loops anymore. It was free when it was Fruity Loops, but then they're like, hey, let's actually sell this thing and make some money. We can't sell it calling it Fruity Loops. It's named after Fruit Loops. Well, let's call it FL. It's $500. Absolutely don't go with FL then. I mean, I don't think Ableton's cheap either. Let's check. I haven't checked Ableton prices. Live. Hang on. No, shop. Fine. Yes, you can look at my cookies, Ableton. Damn, you want my cookies bad. It's $450 for Ableton standard. They have the sweet version. I don't have the sweet version. You don't need no sweet version. But like I say, you could get by with the intro for just $100. I think you could absolutely get by, and you can still do a lot of really nice things. And you right there I'm looking at the thing. Yeah, you can capture MIDI right there. That's what you need right there. You're limited to only 16 tracks, which is a bummer, but through limitations comes creativity, and you could technically just create like, if you made like 15 tracks and you're positive you don't want to change anything on them, you could bounce them all onto one track, and then now you have 15 more tracks, And so there's ways around it. Not a lot of software instruments, but who cares? Not a lot of sound, you got a lot of sounds still, 1,500 sounds. So I wonder what audio effects. Oh, actually, it'll literally tell you. Which ones don't they include? Oh, you don't get EQ8? That's kind of a bummer, but there's free EQ plugins. I mean, you get EQ3, but that's a little less. Ableton Live Lite is free and comes with 8 tracks. Oh, well then there you go. I didn't even know there was a free version. Yeah, if you got a free version, I say go with that. It's also a great way to just get started and find out if you start liking the program. I've used a lot of Digital Performer. That was the other DAW I was thinking of that I couldn't think of. It's called Digital Performer. I don't recommend anyone get Digital Performer. That shit's like $800. It's meant for like, if you're scoring a Hollywood film, then maybe get Digital Performer. Maybe. It can do amazing things with like super surround sound audio. If you have like a 8 to 10 channel speaker alignment set up, it's great for that, as well as video sync and stuff like that. But like, if you're just making some songs, don't get that program. It's very difficult to learn too. I don't recommend it. Good for film scoring, like I say, or like you're you're designing like a multimedia experience, not even like a song. Like that's what you use Digital Performer for. Like you're paid by a museum to build an IMAX theater presentation of dinosaurs or whatever. I don't know. That's what you use it for. Can sometimes be free when you purchase certain products. I should. Well, actually, you know what? You get that Akai thing, and you might get a free Ableton Light one. I was actually just thinking, did mine come with it? I'd have to look, but I might have a free Ableton Light somewhere. I'd have to dig. But your Akai thing could come with it, maybe. Can't guarantee it. Actually, go back. Okay. I like this. I think we could put one more voice in too. I would recommend that voice be something sort of simple and consistent like the bass is. So I'm going to try this. Hang on. Let me put this here. I'm just call this harm because I don't really know what voice this is going to be. Changing the pulse so it sounds a little different. Delete everybody but one note. I'm just making a rhythm right now real quick. Kai comes with NPC Beats DAW and 2,000 sounds, a whole starter kit of stuff. That might even be good enough as well for getting started too. If I do this, it's kind of nice because if you look at the bass sort of climbs slowly, da 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 da, until it falls back down. And this would just fall down until it jumps back up. Wait, is this a... Oh, this is a mono. Hang on a minute. I was like, it's just playing one note. What the hell? I think I dragged in the mono one, didn't I? Wait, hang on. Where is it? Yeah. Pulse poly. I kind of like that. With this being the extra. So this is sort of our whole chord harmony. Like I said, we can get away with chords, but it can't be too much, or else it gets too muddy and messy. Like we got to think about this playing, like this is coming out of a real Game Boy speaker. The tiny little speaker that this big is not gonna be able to handle a lot. So in order to do chords, I just do 2-note chords, and they're quick little short pulse things. Bang, 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 bang. So technically, when they all come in, you know, right here. Actually, it's perfect. B, D in this voice, and then an F sharp in the bass. The third inversion, B major. So that's how we make the chord then, I guess. You just separate out in all these voices. Now here, let's add a little variation. Like I want to keep the first part like the same, like the first half. What's the note there? That's Well, no, it should work. It's a fourth. Yeah, that works. And I don't know how the transition will go. We'll figure that out in a second. But let's start writing this B part. And so when we come out, we are in B or E flat minor. Actually still works. So we're going to keep it. So then C sharp. Hang on, I need to switch to this so I can actually play chords. Ooh, that sounds awful. Wait, hang on a second. I'm crazy, aren't I? No, I'm right. I'm really wrong. Okay. I'm misconstruing what chord I thought this was for a very long time. Let's see, G. Ooh, yeah, okay. We're gonna keep the C sharp on there instead of the D. The D is what makes it a full complete chord, right? But if we keep the C sharp, it actually makes it a dominant 7th chord, which is a really fun chord that really leads into the tonic from there, which is right there. So it helps sort of like hammer home where it's going. I think it's perfect. Figure out where to go from there. We got a lot of sections, components. I need to stand up and take a stretch break, I think. Go an hour and a half. My fucking phone is so annoying sometimes. The facial recognition just does not work. It hates glasses. It honestly, it should work. It fails more when I don't have glasses on, but like it's so annoying when I want to just see the preview of the text. I don't want to open it. It's like, no, just show it to me. Just show it to me. And I'm like, come on, look at me. And it's like, I don't know. Anyway, I can totally picture small 8-bit me walking around in a new town, heading for the Poke Center to this tune. Awesome. I'm really happy to hear you say that, Fonz, because I agree. This is, I think, is absolutely like you just got out of that really annoying cave. Fuck that cave. I don't know what that cave was called, but it was the worst. And you're finally done. And you walk into the new town and you hear this, you know? You're like, oh, finally. I gotta go buy some stuff. I gotta heal my guys. And you're just wandering through the town, you know? I think here, I actually want to do something different with the melody entirely. Hang on. I said I was going to get up and do a stretch break. I am going to do that, actually. Hang on. Let's do this. Let's just create like a teeny little loop here. I'll stand up and stretch real quick. Slap a bridge on it. I just hear like, if I just carry over another lead melody on there, it's going to sound... I don't know how to describe it, but it won't sound Pokemon, because I feel like it would be so common for Pokemon to do this, where they have their little bleepy lead melody thing, and then it's like, cool, we had our lead melody part, and then when it goes into this other section, that's when I bring in a part, like what I'm hearing is like a fade in, like simple more chords or something like that. So it's like, well, let me try to stupidly replicate it with my voice, you know? Or I don't know, whatever. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, but we're gonna fade it in, and I might try to do. I could try to do some fun little like. Here, let me duplicate this just to show you. This is very common in a lot of Game Boy games. Is they do this like ARP that goes crazy, you know. I'm not sure how I'm going to use this, how I would. It might be too intense. I think for this track, it's okay to move around a bit. Yeah, we'll see. I think, because now that I think about it more, we might need to write a little third part that's about this long. I'm going to just copy and paste this for right now, and I'm going to change the colors so we have it all sectioned out in our brain. But this, I think, is what we could use more. And so... this will sort of help transition it back into a melody style. So this sort of, I guess it's like a bridge, but even like a break from a lead melody thing. You know, we have our lead melody dance around when it first comes in, and then here comes the fade in part. and then this I'm going to start slowly bringing back this melody or something, and then it just goes back into this part, and then and that's where the loop would then theoretically start. When we make the actual song and export it, I will basically be taking whatever this part is here, copy, paste it, and so it'll just go through the loop twice. But we're going to design it so that it would be loopable, so that it would be literally a Pokemon track. I could give this to a developer and say, here, put this in your game, and they could have it loop as it would. I mean, for the album, I'll just copy paste it so it plays through twice and then it fades out on the third loop or something. Typical video game music soundtrack style, whatever. Hang on. Yeah, I still need to go stretch, so I'm gonna just move this over. And I will be back in, this only goes for like a minute 20 seconds, so like a minute. Yes. Definitely needs that third part. It's too short to just do just these two. Back and forth, Way too short. It needs a third part. So let's actually write the third part now. Before we worry about the melody or that like fade in part that I was talking about doing. Let's just write this third part right now. I think it'll also help to transition because this didn't cleanly transition back out of this. To cleanly transition, basically the best way to do it, to think of it, is that this last chord, whether it's this exact movement, but I don't know what this last chord movement will be, but it should be an F sharp major. So I'm going to actually just do this. Actually, let's do an F sharp dominant. Can I, who am I playing right now? I'm playing nobody. We need an E in there. So like here would be the transition back into, out of whatever this other part would be, back into our main melody. It'd be this. Except here we gotta do the pickup too. Do you see how perfectly that flows back into it now? So I'm going to just keep that little ending chord there. As far as whether the first part also ends with an F, I don't know. F sharp, I should say. I don't know. We'll see. But we need to come up with another progression. So we modulate it to our minor here. So we're at E flat major. And we should get to, I'm trying to think. Where do we go? The dominant would be this, but we're already there. Where else could we go? If we were here, the relative minor would be C minor. Now that's too weird. That's just a half step away from the B our tonic. I can't do that. That's getting too, I don't know how I would go from that to back to our tonic in the end. So that's a no go there. Let's see. Or the other option is do this. So I'm going to consolidate this into its looped chunk right here. And the reason why is we could maybe change the last chord. So the first part goes like this, you know. And then here it changes. Okay, hang on a minute. What if... Oops. With these chords? Oh, that works. Perfect. I don't even need to change the harmony chords. Actually, that means I could have just done that to transition it out into this one. Maybe... That makes me think I could maybe do this instead. Hang on. What if this is actually the bridge, or... Wait, hang on, did I change the last ones? I didn't change the last ones. Hang on a minute, it changes chords halfway through. That's why it sounded weird. Let's try that again. Yeah, I mean, that'll work really well for that. So maybe we can try to find a new part that goes here first. Like basically, well, we were talking about a bridge, but a bridge between... The tough thing is it goes already to its relative minor, so it transitions really nicely already. Doesn't need that. Let's actually start with this one. Let me hang on. I got to come up with a whole new chord progression, so I'm going to noodle on the piano for just a pinch. Let's see. This chord progression goes... Ending on that F sharp really helps. Thank you, F, for the plug. It really helps going into that minor, so I should try to end on an F sharp again if I can. Though going to that E would work really well. So I think we might be able to do that for the bridge. Let's try that. Where is the E in this? It starts right here. So like, let's actually say we started here. Funny enough, I'm just going to consolidate it right here. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Hang on, hang on. Washed my big head slam last night. Still looking good 3 months later. I washed mine this past weekend as well. Wore it at a convention I went to in the weekend. I was like, genuinely, as I was wandering around, not that a local Milwaukee convention is where I'm going to find anyone that would ever recognize that logo, but I felt like if I ever walked around like a TwitchCon and I wore this shirt, and anybody at all was like, "You're Slamhaus," it would melt my brain that that I could ever get spotted by wearing that. But I had that thought in my head. I was like, I'm advertising, but no one knows what I'm advertising. No one knows. Like outside of like, if I was wandering around out in public, I don't know if anyone would ever, if you guys would recognize me, but you certainly would if I had a fucking Slambot shirt on. You'd be like, oh, I recognize it. That's Slamhaus. And then you'd look at the douchebag wearing it and you'd be like, that's him. I'd throw it on if I ever spotted you. Exactly. There's a few, but like what are the odds? Maybe at a TwitchCon someday. I always felt like I'd want to go to a TwitchCon someday. Let's order a QR code. I don't want to do any QR code stuff. You could do some like, I feel like, so here's why what I think about with QR codes recently is every single vendor that was around at the convention had QR codes to go on, and you could tip them through Venmo or get their socials, all that. I get it. They're handy. They're useful in a lot of regards. They're very useful in a lot of ways, but you also, when you're scanning a random QR code, you have no fucking idea like where you're going, what it's going to do, what it's going to take you to, what you are trusting the person. And I don't think anyone at a convention is going to be maliciously trying to do stuff, but like certainly people that just like scan random QR codes you see out in the street, like you're taking a gamble every time you do that. When people now link like their credit cards with their cell phones and I don't know. Here's a word to the wise. I'd be careful with QR codes you scan with your phone and even like ones that are on posters, like there's a harmless version of it is I was watching a YouTube video about people doing like graffiti in Europe somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but the city was putting up these signs saying like, if you see any graffiti, report it here. And they had a QR code where you could scan it and it would like send a report and all that sort of crap, whatever. And what the interview did, he's like, you scan it and it takes you to the website to report the graffiti. But if you notice, some of them, it takes you somewhere different. And he scanned it, took him to like a YouTube video about like a documentary about graffiti. And if you check, like all they did is they made their own QR codes and they just the exact same size as the ones on the stickers, and they just stuck them over the top of it. So it's like, like a credit card skimmer sort of thing. You just put it over the top of the one where you're putting your card in. Like you can easily just stick any sticker over the top of any QR code, and you could do whatever you want with that QR code when someone scans it. Go nuts. Linking your card to your cell phone is great. Google Wallet generates a fresh credit card code when you scan. I don't know. I guess I'm not one that I don't have my cards linked to my phone at all. I get that they have safety mechanisms and stuff, but I feel like no different than clicking on random link in your email. Exactly. Can be dangerous. But like, do you click any of those random links that you get emailed from people you don't know? No, you don't. So don't scan those random QR codes that you don't know. Nobody clicks those. Slam 2-hour notice. Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh, you're right. Good heads up. But you know what? We're actually making good time. We're making some good time right now. But I also haven't even saved this yet. February 7th. February 7th. February. It takes a millisecond to save because it's just nothing but MIDI data here. Something here, and then I need to end on an F sharp here. Hang on. This is gonna sound. I don't know how this is gonna sound actually. I'm gonna just pick the notes because I know what chords they need to be. Give me a second. My brain needs to load. We have. Wait, what do we have here? I'm so. Yes, E major here. You should game under the name Slamhaus TTV and wear a huge QR code with massive one on your shirt that links to this. Get on TikToks and drink G Fuel. I'm hiring you, Hef. You are now chief marketing strategist at Slamhaus Corp. You are also chief technical engineer too. The pay is the same. Like, it's not like the same thing combined. You're not getting a pay raise, and that pay is 0. In fact, I'm gonna need to charge you. Let's see. I'll send you the invoice. I'll send you the bill. Yeah. Wait. Okay, hang on. That's why I have been struggling on YouTube. I haven't once talking about smashing any like buttons. Every like button is perfectly intact. It's disgusting. Disgusting. At the most, they gently tap it. And that's not going to fly with me. No, sir. I need to stand out. I need to be like, all right, everybody, lick that like button. Give it a good old lick. If you're liking the content, give that like button a lick. That flows off the tongue, right? It's snazzy, it's jazzy, it's buzzwordy, right? Pow, pow. You're turned on, and you don't know why. I'm in your head.
I'm in your brain, baby. Yeah.
Okay, I need to write this part. The accompaniment. It starts with E major, right? E major. It does feel like it needs to move though. You know what you really need to do? Get on Vine, make some vines, dude. You know what? The kids, everybody, what always gets popular, right? Vintage stuff. So you're right. What Vine could be the first, like, well, no. Well, is MySpace a vintage social media? I was gonna say, what makes it vintage? Is it a certain age, or does it have to no longer exist? How it's like the hipster thing, you know what I mean? I'm going to be so exclusive. The app that you need to watch my content doesn't even exist anymore. That's how fucking exclusive I am. Oh yeah, remember Google Plus? I remember that. Okay, so hang on. This. Wait, what should be? Actually, no. It should loop right back into the melody again immediately. This is theoretically our whole song. It would be, how long is this? This. The whole thing is like 50 seconds long about the whole jam, which is I have to say about right, you know, about a minute long track, and then it just loops. That sounds about right for a Pokemon game, right? Get a live journal, dude. Okay, we might be going too far back here. Well, that just makes it more vintage, though, so maybe... I almost said GeoCities. But that's a little too far. Yeah, okay. I like the way this is sounding. Let me get this fade in sound. Wait, I'm gonna duplicate this. Get rid of this stuff. So this is how long the full chord will be. Let me just track it out real quick. That long. Okay, so with this thing, we want the sustain. Or how do we do this? Hang on, let me think. Decay all the way down. Or... Oh, that's interesting. Hang on a minute. If you put everybody down entirely, but you just fade the attack up a little, it'll fade to max volume and then instantly cut. What's the exact time that I need? I wish I could sync this to a timer. I mean, if I do it that small, hang on. Yeah. It's a neat idea of the way I could do this, but it's not what I was originally envisioning. So, wait, what if I did the release the exact same amount? Let me start from the beginning again. I'm losing focus. I think I'm here. Here's what I need to do, really. If I want to do this the lazy approach, because all I really want to do is this. All I really need is this. This is just volume automation. What I was trying to do was create it through attack, decay, and release, which you could. And that's what you would want to do if you were creating this synth to then be played, right? Like, because I can't do this automation live. But for this, it's sort of like, fuck it. I think it's just going to be faster if I do this. Because this is what I'm just trying to make. Except, hang on. Wait. I mean, yes, but hang on. Maybe I just need to turn it up now more. Oh, that's too loud. Is this the same as... Nah, we need to change this. It needs to be this. I'm going to copy and paste this whole thing over and over and over. And the reason mainly is not really for the notes, it's for the automation. Now we're just going to consolidate all into one. Now, what else could I do with this? I know that's Game Boy. Game Boy E. Is that Pokemon-ish? Not really, right? There's a lot of different ARP styles, too. Cool. Not Pokemon-y. I think if I do this, it just needs to be more interesting. Why not listen to a Pokemon song for inspiration and sound check? I suppose we could. I mean, Nintendo does crack down on that sort of shit now. Or do they? It is their own OST, but whoa. Let's listen to a random city right here. Play, damn you. Here's something that these people do, and I could do as well. Everyone puts a little hint of reverb on all the notes. Should I do that too? Like this? Hang on. I don't even know how much reverb this would be. Let's try. Let's try just a little bit here. Start at the beginning. Nintendo will come down hard and bend you over. See, that's what I'm thinking they'll do. I don't trust Nintendo. Let me make the size a little smaller and send more. I'm just trying to match their reverb now. My stuff's already way crunchier. I don't care. I love the two chats right next to each other. Doesn't he have the courtesy to put you in pink dress and give you red lipstick? Happy Tunesday. Happy Tuesday to you too, Roscoe Cat. Welcome back. I'm trying to think if I want to keep doing this fade idea. It was a idea, but well, let me mute it right now. I'm gonna go back to. Hang on a minute. Maybe I just need to change the way this is fading. Is it this? Do I want this? Maybe not that harsh. Maybe like that. Or actually, hang on. Copy and paste this throughout. Because it doesn't have the full time to fade in and fade out. I would have to do it actually, hang on. I would need to do it in two voices. Okay, I know what I need to do here. I need to copy this right here. I should just copy this over and over and over again. Copy this there to there. Okay. Now copy all of this and paste it right here. Delete this. Okay. Now grab all of these, consolidate it into one, and make these chords go half the length that they are. Now go in here and change the release to like... let me mute this one. Perfect. Okay. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just delete this one, and we're just going to duplicate this one once it's done. First, let's finish this. Duplicate this. So at the very least, this does work, actually, if I get rid of... Or like if I just do this. Now, though, is this too much movement? Like, is it, or too many notes? Like, is it better if I do this? It might be if I do that and then I also do this. Hang on, actually. What if I do that and then on this I just delete the top note? So it goes like this. Right here. Sounds cool, but I don't know if it's Pokemon-ish. Yeah, it sounds cool, but I don't know, it's Pokemon-ish. If this was not going to be like the idea of this being for like an original Game Boy Pokemon game, I could do some fun panning with this. Obviously, that's not really going to be something you could do with a mono. Like, when this track is done, everything has to be mono right down the middle. No fun panning available. If there was maybe more movement. Hang on. Maybe we can still make this interesting. Okay, yeah, hang on. And then I was thinking I'd sort of try to bring back the lead melody sort of thing. Like, okay, this is going to be a bad example because this is not the right... I'm not going to bring back the exact melody. So I have a copy and paste it right now. So it's going to come in really hard with a really cheery melody in a not so cheery place. But I just want to get a vibe for how this is going to sound coming back in. I'm still having second thoughts about one of these. At the very least, this sounds fine, so I'm going to keep this. And whether I add another sound, like maybe a percussion. I don't know, we'll figure something out. But I do think like a break from like a melody is a good idea there at the very least. Just give me this for right now. This isn't calm. My pulse is going up. I know. That's why I'm trying to think how I can calm this melody down a little bit more. Because that's calm right here. Tough when you just modulate to the minor, you know? This still feels calm and chill. It's just the second part that still doesn't yet. You gotta make the melody a little more optimistic, I think. This one's fine, you know? It could be like, ooh, we don't... Did I already do this? Give me this, paste it over here. I mean, I want to add extra notes and maybe change some of these a little bit, but I'm just trying to get an outline. It flows nice enough. We can do better. Okay. Copy and paste what we just got. Except I know I changed the last chord and we'll have to rechange it again, but that's okay. This needs to also be faster. Hang on. Hang on a second. Let me, I'm going to grab this pickup and make it part of this whole section so I can see. These notes are important. I need to keep these ones here. How we get there, that's what we can figure out. I mean, that works. I like the F sharp more. And we'll go right back into that. So this whole part will go. Drinking there a beer? No. I wish. No. Is it Pepsi? Little day drinking. Nah. It's a made with real sugar one. Ooh. Sponsored by Pepsi. For real though, if Pepsi wanted to sponsor me and just like send me some free Pepsi, I mean, I'd take it. Free shit, you know. What do I gotta do though? Just drink it on stream? Sure, I could do that. I'm great at doing that. Let's, okay. We're actually getting close on this song. Like, I feel like this is sounding great. I don't want to change anything in terms of the melody. This part, I'm still not sure about. And I'm more not sure about the second fade in. Let's listen to it again with the second fade on again. Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. Yeah, do you think Pepsi sponsored that song? No. All I wanted was a Pepsi. No, Mom, I just want a Pepsi. And she wouldn't give it to me. All I wanted was a Pepsi. That song is classic. It's classic because I feel like the first time you listen to it, you're like, what the fuck? Is this just some like spoiled kid complaining? Mom, give me a Pepsi. Mom, give me a Pepsi. How old are you? Remember when Pepsi had those points you could redeem? You cut off the box. I redeemed the whole box. I remember those points. They had them in the bottle caps as well, but otherwise they put them in the box to like the 32 packs. I remember getting them for the Mountain Dew, and you could redeem them for all sorts of stuff. Yeah. I had a buddy that was trying so hard. I can't remember what he was trying to get, but it was something like unfathomable, like a Corvette, because they did shit like that, right? Because they got kids to be like, here, you could buy a car through Mountain Dew. Sure, you got to buy about 400 grand worth of Mountain Dew, but if you do, you could get this Corvette. Look how sick this Corvette is. And so it's like, they made it completely unattainable. But, the kids would be like, holy fuck, if I get 1 million points, I could get my own car. Oh, I'm going to look so cool pulling up to school in my Corvette. But yeah, like normally they would do the math where like you would end up paying like $500,000 worth of Mountain Dew to get that car. So sure, it's sick, but you might just want to buy the car if you got that kind of money. I guess you don't get the Mountain Dew though, but... Me and my buddies would hang out every weekend in my buddy's basement and play N64. I would have sleepovers at my house where my buddies would come over on weekends, and we would play N64. A lot of Mario Kart, of course, a lot of GoldenEye. That was the game we played like crazy. And then other dumb ones that I had, like Iggy's Wrecking Ball or Extreme G or dumb 4-player games like those, But GoldenEye and see, I never really played Perfect Dark. I didn't own it. I only had friends that had it, so I only ever played it at other friends' houses. So I never played it a ton on my own, but I respect it. I get why it was popular. GoldenEye just came back out on the Switch. I saw that. The composer for a lot of N64 games, or for rare N64 games, Grant Kirkhope, he has been having a field day in terms of like a resurgence of his popularity, right? Because GoldenEye got re-released on the Switch, so everyone's talking about how fun that game is and how great the music is on it and everything, because they're all reminiscing about that, right? Of course, he wrote the music for that. Well, he helped write it. Someone else did as well. I forgot the other guy's name, though. I should give him more credit. But then otherwise, I see people talking now about Nick Offerman in the new Last of Us series, right? And he was interviewed, and he was like, oh, the last game I was obsessed with was Banjo-Kazooie. And that one also, Grant Kirkhope wrote the music for. So, like, in the span of, like, a week, it's, like, double plug to Grant Kirkhope games. Like, everyone remember who this guy is. He's really, really good at writing music. And he's still writing music for games. He writes for the, like, Mario and Rabbids games. I haven't actually played any of those yet. But I'm tempted to pick him up just for the music alone. Granted, I could just YouTube the music if I want to find it, but also I think the game would be good. I'd probably like that style. But people who like Banjo-Kazooie eats their own boogies changed my mind. I love Banjo-Kazooie, and I don't eat my boogies. I mean, I'll pick my nose and flick my boogies at you. I won't eat them. I love Banjo-Kazooie. It's fantastic. 1080 Snowboarding is also a great music game, and that was one that another one that like a buddy had. I didn't have myself, but I do remember I liked it a lot. The snowboarding games I got into, and in terms of music as well, started on the PS2 with SSX Tricky. Oh, don't even get me started on that. And why hasn't there been a remaster of the SSX Tricky? Hello? We are in the era of remasters and stuff. Where the hell is a remaster of SSX Tricky or SSX 3? That was a fantastic game. Why hasn't anyone remastered the SSX games? Those have got to be over 10 years old, maybe 15 by now. SSX was one of my first PS2 games. I pre-ordered the Beast. It was an amazing game. I had all three. The original, just SSX. I had SSX Tricky and SSX 3. And I know they came out with another one later, but I heard that one wasn't good and never played it, and then they stopped making them. But to me, SSX 3 was pinnacle. They, like, Tricky, like, SSX was them figuring it out. Tricky was them honing their craft And 3 was then like, we understand how to make a great snowboarding game. Here it is. And it was such a good game. That's what they need to remaster. Oh yeah, that makes me think, because I was like, what snowboarding game did I play on the N64? I could have sworn I did play one, and I did, but it's not a realistic one. I played Snowboard Kids. Did you guys ever play Snowboard Kids on the N64? That was my jam. Talk about good music in a video game too. Oh, Snowboard Kids. That was more like Mario Kart, but snowboarding. No, never heard of it? Okay. Well, that's what it is. It's not so much like 1080 was like realistic snowboarding and tricks. Snowboard Kids was more like Mario Kart, but you're snowboarding, where there's like items and like you attack each other, and it was so fun though. You could still do tricks, and it was fantastic. Strongly recommend it. But that is a game too that you have to. I recommend emulating it, because the hard copies of the game, it was not very popular. It's not cheap. I have Snowboard Kids 2 on original N64 still. I think it was probably $60 to $70 for that game or so. It's probably more expensive now because I got it a long time ago. But yeah, it's one of those expensive N64 games because it's very good, but it didn't sell very well. It wasn't very popular, so. But you can emulate it. That's the beauty of it, and I strongly recommend that. I'm selling a bunch of carts on eBay right now on topic. Some Pokemon they sold in 5 minutes. Wow. That's pretty cool. Like, when you said carts, like Pokemon, like Game Boy carts, like original OG Pokemon carts, I was seeing those. I was at a convention this past weekend that had a whole bunch of gaming stuff too. And so I can see they were selling those. The original, you can get original red and original yellow and stuff for $30, which I feel like is pretty cheap. I don't know. I mean, I guess because those games sold so well, right? There's so many copies of Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Red out there in the US, right? So that's why they're $30, because they're popular, so they're worth that. But they were so popular that they sold so many, and there's so many. But now you got to get one where you got to replace the battery in the back or something, because I feel like most of those are probably dead. I haven't fired up my original Pokemon Blue in forever, so I'm curious if that battery is dead or not. Trying to decide if I want to do something else here. Let me go back into this. I got about, how much time do I got left? I got about an hour. Oh yeah, I mean, this song's like, we're sort of adding the finishing touches ish. What could I? I'm a huge enthusiast of retro gaming handhelds, so I've gone the way of emulation most of these days. I have 6 devices in front of me right now. You know, I like that you say that, Pun, because I could grab some stuff on my shelf right over there that you might have these exact same devices too, I bet. But you'd be like, oh, I got a whole bunch of handhelds. I can just describe the ones I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at my Game Gear. I have a Sega Nomad sitting over there. The Sega Nomad's not working though. Last time I tested it, it wasn't working. I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm gonna have to mess around with it, but that's a bummer. It was for so long, it just stopped working. You have actual hardware, which is awesome. Yeah, I have a literal Sega Nomad right over there. But like I said, that one's not working right now. Game Gear still works. I have an Atari Lynx. That one's not working, but I know what's broken on it, and the fix is $5 and a soldering kit that I don't have. So I would need to do that. I have a Lynx 2 second generation. Ooh, nice. I think I have the first generation one. The second generation was way better. I know they did better on that. I booted up my old Blue version last week. Still good. My dad and I caught all 150 back in the day. I actually got a letter published. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's really cool. I actually, that's what I was saying about my blue as well. I have on my original blue, I've thought about deleting it and starting over, but on that save file that I still have saved on that cart is all 150 caught, a finished game. It has like 80 some hours in it too. It's ridiculous. But it's done. And I can't bring myself to delete it, right? Or 151. That's what it was. Yeah, I have them all on that one, but and I've wanted to play it again. That's why I'll just have to emulate it or something if I want to play it again, because I can't bring myself to delete it. And start a new save file on that one. I mean, I'm gonna have to just let time kill that one when the battery eventually dies. So, but yeah, I haven't fired up in a long time. Take a look, see if it's still there. What else do I have over there? I've got a whole variation of Game Boys. The original big fat one, like 2 different pockets, a couple different colors. The Advance. I have mobile gaming setup. I have a screen that you would plug in the slim down PS1 into, and then you could plug it into a wall jack, and then you'd have your PS1 with a screen that like folds up like it's a laptop, and you could play your PS1 anywhere on the go. Little mini TV connect to your PS1. Turns your PS1 slim into a mobile gaming setup. You were a rich kid growing up. No, I wasn't, honestly, because the Sega Nomad, the Game Gear, the Atari, and most of the Game Boys were all bought within the last 4 years. Because I started collecting them. I mean, I have my original Game Boy Pocket. That's one of the ones on there. All I had was a Game Boy when I was growing up. Well, I mean, like I had like a Nintendo 64. I mean, in terms of like a handheld. I didn't have an Atari and a Game Gear and a Sega Nomad, and my parents didn't buy me all that shit. No, I had a Game Boy, and that was it in terms of like mobile gaming. I had a tiny little silver Game Boy Pocket that's still over there and still works. Better put your parents up in a good old folks home. They spoiled your ass straight up. No, I didn't have all of those as a kid. No way. I had just the Game Boy, and that was it. I've been more collecting them because I just got more into the consoles because, I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't even know a Sega Nomad was a thing. I didn't discover that until I was in my 20s, and I was like, wait, what? They made a portable Genesis and called it a Sega Nomad? What the fuck? And then I bought it later, so I didn't even know that at the time. I had Sega Genesis was the first console I ever had. That was what my dad had and played, and we didn't have very many games, but we had Sonic 2, and I played the shit out of Sonic 2. We really didn't have a lot of games, actually. We had like 3 games maybe, but one of them was Sonic 2, and man, did I play that game. And then I didn't have a console. I never had an NES. I never had a Super Nintendo. I had a Sega Genesis until the Nintendo 64 came out. And then my brother wanted one so bad that he begged and begged that my parents bought it. I didn't even care, actually, at the time. I mean, I was like, this is cool. I love video games, but I just wanted my Sega Genesis. And I think I had a Game Boy, too, at the time, maybe. So that's all I cared about. But I need to focus on the song. I'm going down memory lane, but it's fun. As a kid, I had an NES. Then Genesis. I rented N64 a bunch of times, but I didn't own one until I was an adult. Put some pics on the Discord. Nice. Let me. Do I have my Discord still open here? Here we go. Yeah, I never had an NES, but I had a friend that had an NES, and they had Mario 3, and that was my favorite NES game. Anytime I went over to their house, I was like, I want to play Mario 3. Mario 3, yes. I didn't want to play any other NES games. I just wanted to play Mario 3. That was my favorite NES game, but I never owned an NES. Well, now I own one too. Like these were all things, that's what we do when we're adults. We buy the toys we couldn't we couldn't have when we were kids. I still have a Neo Geo Pocket. Oh wow. Oh my god, yeah. Talk about wait, like is that one you had when you were young? Wasn't that expensive? I'm pretty sure Neo Geo is synonymous with like expensive consoles. Like that's an original console I don't have, and that I will emulate and probably never buy an original Neo Geo. Damn, those are probably gonna be super expensive still. Oh, the Pocket one. Okay. It wasn't too bad. Game Boy competitor. Is Texas Speech going to say this?
Slam her dance, slam her dance.
Actually says it pretty good. I like that. Thank you, Mr. Cheap Jack. 9 months. Aw, we've had a Twitch baby. Thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate it. And 9 months changes your badge too now. Looking spiffy. I was in college and had a job to pay for my collecting. So yeah, that was right out of college is when I started collecting more stuff. That's when I got my Sega Nomad and because then I'd go on Craigslist and I'd find some crazy cheap deals. I found a guy who was like, I'm selling a box of random video game stuff. I don't even really know what's all in it. $50. And I was like, can I look at the stuff before I pay? And he's like, sure. So I was like, okay, it's like win-win. Like if I go, it's not worth $50, I don't buy it. And I go there, and he had an NES, an Atari 7800? An Atari 7800 with controllers, a whole bunch of 2600 games, various ColecoVision controllers. I was like, yeah, I'll pay $50 for that. That's how I got an Atari 7800 and an NES. You can find people just trying to get rid of old electronic junk that they know has value, but don't bother looking up how much it's worth, and they don't want to piece it out and sell it that way. They just go $50, everything in the box. I found that for so many other things too. Consoles are worth a fair amount these days, even broken ones. Indeed. At this convention I was at, they had a broken Sega Saturn. $50 for a broken Sega Saturn. I get it though, because you know what? Those parts are going to be very valuable to some other broken Sega Saturn, and then a working Sega Saturn is worth a lot more. Found this old lady who had a box of Nintendo Direct magazines. That's pretty cool. Sold it to her $20, and they're in perfect condition. My favorite old consoles, your TurboGrafx 64 with AirZonk. That would be a cool one to have. I've only ever played that at like a gaming convention, so I've seen them. Those controllers are interesting. But I've never seen someone trying to sell one though too, like on Craigslist or something. You know, you only find the common things: NES and Super Nintendos and shit. Selling a broken Game Boy Advance on eBay for $50. Let me know if that works and people buy them. That's why even like I say, my Sega Nomad doesn't work. I don't know how much it would cost to fix it. I don't know what's wrong with it, but even now it's still worth money broken. I don't know. Then again, it could have been the power adapter I was using to plug in too. I'd have to experiment. I just know the last time I tried to use it to show it off to someone, I couldn't get it to work, and I was just pissed and then didn't try it again. So feels like Craigslist is dead in my area. Facebook Marketplace is better. Craigslist could be dead. When I was buying Craigslist, that was like for real. Like, oh my god! Actually, now that I think about it, that was like 8 years ago that I was buying these consoles off Craigslist. For real. So it could be dead by now. Oh yeah, I was gonna go to Discord and look at these pics, and I also still need to finish this song. Ooh, can I? Oh, you're just gonna do that? Okay, let me open them up in the browser. Are these? Oh, interesting. I thought these were switch lights. Here, let's take a look at these. Look at these. I love all of these. These are kind of cool. I mean, you got a joystick on this one, but it's shaped like a Game Boy. I have no idea what these ones play, but I like that. Those run off Linux distros. Oh, those are cool. No managed device that are aftermarket that play old cartridges. Run emulation station. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, at first I thought these were switch lights. That's what they look like, right? But no, these are more emulation ones. Or Android? Okay. Almost. Yeah, right? They sort of look like it. And then here's some of the classic. I recognize these boys. That's the pocket style. I've got two. I've got a yellow one and my original silver. I don't even know why I have a yellow one. Honest to God, I don't think I bought. I think that was in the box maybe of the $50 box. Now that I think about it, because I don't know why I have another Game Boy Pocket, but Also, I have a PSP. Want to hear a weird PSP story real quick? I bought a PSP really cheap. It was like $60. Another guy on Craigslist. Cool. Add it to my collection. I did. One night, I am sleeping. And this is probably early in the morning, like 5 a.m. I hear the most insanely loud bang, like straight up a gunshot. It sounded like, and I wake up, and I'm just like it woke me from dead asleep, and I'm like, and then I'm trying to figure out, did I really hear that, or did I dream it, and it like made me wake up? Because I'm like looking around, and I'm like, there's nothing going on, there's no problem, and whatever. I went back to sleep. I wake up the next day, and I actually like checked my window to see if there were like bullet holes. Like, did someone shoot a gun outside and like a bullet flew into my freaking apartment or something? I don't know what happened. I look, there's nothing going on. Whatever. I keep going. Honestly, like a day or so later, I look at my collection and I notice that my PSP is like at a weird angle. And I go in and I look, and the battery is like enormous. It's swelled up huge. And the whole back plate of the PSP is gone. I found it. It was under the table. So what happened was that the battery exploded in the PSP. I think that was the like gunshot sound that I thought I heard. That was the PSP battery exploding. So take your batteries out your PSPs, maybe, because mine exploded. It was a very hot night, and so, but like it wasn't on or anything. So. Could you take them out? I could. I was able to pry the battery out. It came out, and it was like just this giant fat thing, and I threw it away. Now I don't have a battery. I mean, I have to buy a replacement battery so my PSP doesn't function. And also the back clip doesn't go back on because it broke the plastic off when it exploded off. So the clip won't, like, you could set the clip on the back, but it won't stay. I'd have to like tape it or something, because the plastic clips on the inside that held it broke off when it exploded out. So my PSP works but turns off at random. I have a few batteries. Okay. But yeah, so that's the story of my PSP battery exploding, which was very unexpected and scared the fuck out of me, because I thought someone like shot a gun. At least we weren't playing at the time. Yeah, right? Oh my God. Yeah, there's a security video of people like cell phones exploding in their pockets as they're out and about. So batteries, man, they're scary. It's a scary story. Batteries in general, right? You never think about how like we have batteries and everything, but they are like mini bombs sometimes. Lithium ion batteries, certainly, but yeah, crazy. Any hoot. What can I do here? We could maybe still bring in this melody still, but we do something simple. Hang on a minute. Ah! Okay, hang on. You hear where I'm going with this. We think this fade should be a different pulse width, maybe. I haven't used pulse width 4 yet. I'll keep that. Okay. We have our full song. I'm just trying to think of some other ways we might be able to separate them, make them feel like different parts a little bit. Listen again. The fade in part helps this part really feel like it's a different section a little bit, or at the very least differentiates it from this previous part, you know? Because otherwise it sounds very similar, you know? The other option is we save some of the percussion for later or something. Like maybe there is no percussion right away. Hang on, I need to change something. I hate this last note. No note there. Like, at the very least, I'd rather have it just end on the... Yeah, we're gonna do that. Because now it does feel like it needs the percussion. I just think this needs to go all the way through. But I don't feel like the song needs like a lot more other percussion or anything. Just this snare, pretty much. Oops. Trying to think if I could do something here that's different. So the rhythm becomes, you know, ba-da-dum-ba, ba-da-dum-ba, da-da-dum-ba, da-da-dum-ba, instead of da-da-da-da-da-da. It fits the melody maybe a little bit more. I'm gonna keep that because it does help feel like a very, I can feel the divide between those two sections. So we're gonna keep that. I need to copy and paste this change over to all of these. In fact, what I should really do is this. Delete, copy this over all the way. And we just grab this, I copy and I paste, and I paste. And then we figure out where to fade out. So, okay, let's say the song starts like this. Actually, what I should do, grab the whole thing and move it to right here, so that way I can give a little bit of silence in the master. But otherwise the song will start like this. It's always so cool to see these songs come together. It's complete wizardry to me. Hey, I love hearing you say that though, C. Reed. So keep saying it, feel free. I'm just happy to like demystify it in a way, right? As far as where I get the ideas for this melody needs to come in, I don't know. It just comes, but you can see how it's all constructed individually. I'm lifting behind that curtain. I think right here is when we should start doing the fade out. Wait, hang on. Try to figure out the exact time to fade it out, because logically it's going to loop forever. It's supposed to sound like it would fit in a Pokemon game, and if it was, it would just be an endless looping version. But, you know, we can't do that. It'll be a short one, but that makes sense. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. This might be finished. I want to listen to this ending again real quick. From right here. What's going on, Something Incarnate? You're coming in actually right at the end, but you can hear what we got. The request today was some like calm Pokemon chiptune style. Or Pokemon style chiptune, I should say, actually. So is sort of the inspiration of like, you know, what's the calmest music in Pokemon? It's like the cities. When you're walking around the cities. Those are chill, happy little music. So that's what we got for today. And I think it might be done. That's a clean fade out. Let's listen to this one more time. I'm going to stand up and stretch super quick, and we'll take a gander at what we got. This is, the name of the track has to be the name of the town. What's the name of this town? I mean, the track was requested by Fonz. It could be named after Fonz, the Fonz, in a way. But otherwise we got to think of what cities does this encapsulate? As you're listening, what name does it come to mind? What city? But yeah, that's what we'll have to name it. Something city. Something city. Industrious, I feel, like a port town. Sure, certainly. What, It has to just end with, yeah, something city, but... The first thing I was going to say is, like, Lumber City. could work. 40-minute warning. Thank you, Hef. Keep an eye on that clock. I think we're coming into the end here. I just gotta come up with an ending. Poke Me Silly City. Toon City. These are some good suggestions. Poke Me Silly is a great one. Toon City? Yeah, that's true. It could either be... I don't want to do Toonstown because that sounds too much like Toonstown, spelled Toon, which wasn't that already used? Toonstown? Isn't that like where Roger Rabbit is from or something? I don't know. I don't want to do Toonstown because that's too close to... That's a branded thing, right? Hang on. What is Toonstown? Toonstown. I know I've heard that before. Toonstown. It's an online... I remember Toonstown. Dude, do you guys remember Toonstown? Whoops. No. I want to go to Toonstown. Oh, it has to tell me that they're going to steal my cookies. Sure. Do you guys remember Toonstown? This was like a children's MMO. Oh my God, is this still around? This is from 2023. You don't remember this? This is, you could tell it's been around for like 20 years. Look at how crude it looks. Toontown, dude. Oh my God. I remember seeing this advertised on TV, like on Nickelodeon and stuff. I can't believe it's still around, but that's why I'm not calling this Toonstown. But I do like, I did like Toon City. Because the cool thing, too, is it could be Toon City or Toons, plural, City. Both would be pronounced the same way, right? Toon City, Toons City. Fume City? Paint Fume City? Diesel City. Diesel City's kind of... Well, I don't know. Is that Pokemon-y? That's the other thing. It's got to sound Pokemon-ish. What's Pokemon cities? Verulian City. Cerulean City. Is this Derulean City? Viridian City. Yeah, that's a Pokemon one. Slamtown. Slam City. Slam City is actually, that might already be trademarked. I know there's a skate contest called the Slam City Jam. So that might be a little too close. Not that I care that much. I'm not even like releasing these for commercial purposes. If they're song names, it's not that big a deal. But Viridian City, Squirrel City. Yeah, right. It's hard. That's because it's like, I like Toon City, but I also don't know that Toon City sounds Pokemon-ish, right? But Pokemon cities are just like made up words, right? Like Cerulean isn't a word. Viridian isn't a word. Vermilion isn't a word. Got to run in the post office. Have a good one. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Pun, thanks for hanging out. Great to see you as always. I'll catch you next time. Route 808. That's true. We could just call it a route. That we could keep it real simple. Actually, Route 808 is a clever idea then too, because it's like the 808, I mean, we're not using any 808s in this, but we're trying to stick to classic. I like that idea as well, Fonz. That's a good one too, because this could work for a route, right? Vermilion is a color. Vermilion is a word? Oh, well, today we learn. Vermilion? A bright red pigment. Oh, okay. Wait, vermilion, but it's... Oh, never mind. I don't know. There is a Vermilion City. Never mind. So, Cerulean, Viridian, they're all colors. Oh. Route 8-bit. I might do Route 808, though. Because, yeah, I guess... Okay, so they're all colors. That's how they get it. That's lazy. Right now, my favorite idea actually is Chartreuse City. Is 808 Route 808. Umber City. That's true. Is Umber a color? Umber. Oh yeah, it's Umber's like a yellowish brown. Okay. Umber City works. Actually, I kind of like that one too. Brown Town. Yeah. Umber City is a complicated way of just saying Brown Town. Those are my favorites so far. Route 808 or Umber City. Which would if you guys had to choose between those two, Umber City or Route 808? What happened to Toon City? Well, I like that idea, but it was more about following the Pokemon theme exactly. And if Umber's a color, is Toon? If we can find like Toon as a color, Umber, because there are no 808s. I don't necessarily hate that there's no Route 808. I mean, theoretically, if the world is enormous in Pokemon, like there'll be eventually a Route 808, right? So like, and it's more like a clever nod to the musical nature of it. That's why I kind of like that. Umber City, because there are no 808s. Toon 88. Well, nah, don't do that. I'm still torn between Umber City or Route 808. The only thing that Route 808 has against it is I don't actually use any 808s or anything in this. So, I would think Route 808 is a clever name for like a Pokemon trap beat, right? You use 808s, but then you're like playing off it's a Pokemon thing. So that would be like a clever play on that. More clever than what I'm doing at the very least. So maybe Umber City's winning. Should it be Umber City? I think it might be Umber City. Umber City. What time is it? I still got plenty of time right now. Plenty of time. How fast did I do this one? 3.5 hours? Pretty good, pretty good. 808 lane. We're not making an address. Route 808 works because there's route number, whatever, in Pokemon all the time. Route 42 or Route 201 or I don't know. We're not making an address. 808 Boulevard. Happyvilles, Las Vegas. Or wait, no, wait. Las Vegas is a city, not a state. Never mind. Shit. I ruined it. Okay. We're gonna go with the Umber City. I like it. It's nice enough. It's great. I dig it. Umber City. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. We had this was like a really popular stream. Should I stream like this early always on Tuesdays? Am I gonna is this more conducive to everyone's schedule? Should I just always be live earlier? Like, or is today just a fluke? I don't know. Is this the new normal? Is this the new normal? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll try again this early. It's fun being this early because now I got the whole rest of the day to do all the other shit I still have to do. So we'll see. But otherwise, special extra thanks, of course, to who was it? Hef and Mr. Cheapjack for resubbing on this stream. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. There is an Umber City. It's just spelled differently. Like there's already a real Umber City. That's true. I never really Googled that. Umber City. The city of Umber. I see that. Umber City. City of Umber. That's because they knew if they were Umber City, people would just call them Brown Town. they knew. All right. Special thanks to all you guys then. Again, I will catch you all next Tuesday. If I just do decide to go early again, I'll post it in the Discord. I think that's the best way to keep you guys updated. If you have to know exactly when I'm live, otherwise click that bell. Or is there still a bell? I think there's still a bell. That's still a thing. Whatever. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.